Everyone, and welcome back to Mobility Matters. I'm your host, Javier Betancourt, Executive Director of the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust, or CITT. We're the agency of Miami-Dade County charged with overseeing your half-penny sales tax for transportation. Happy New Year. This is our first show of 2023, and there's no better way to kick off the new year than with my guest for today, Cheryl Mizell. Cheryl is actually part of our team at the CITT, and Cheryl is charged with overseeing the ambassador program, which is what we're going to talk about today. So Cheryl, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's fun to be sitting in this chair for a change.
Yeah, people may recognize you because you're the guest host about every 3 or 4 shows or so, and I know you've had a couple under your belt, so thank you.
Thank you.
So Cheryl, tell me, what do you do for the CITT?
Well, I am executing the vision of our director. You may know him, Javier Betancourt.
I've heard a few things about that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
To develop the CITT Ambassador Program, which will, when we have it fully developed, have about 300 ambassadors who cover all the train stations, the bus routes, the different forms of public transportation in Miami-Dade County, reporting, completing surveys, and giving us feedback about their experiences, and then receiving points for their efforts, which they can then redeem for rewards. So we're very excited. Things are progressing right along, and we're just really excited about it. So the CITT Ambassador Program.
All right, so we'll get into more into the ambassador program in a little bit, but before we go into that, let's learn a little bit more about you. Tell us about your background. I know you and your family have a storied history here in Miami-Dade County, so we'd like to learn a little bit more about that and then your professional background.
Absolutely, thank you. I am, deeply grateful for the efforts of my family that came to South Florida in the early 1900s and pioneered Broward County. Isidore Mizell, who built the first school for blacks in Broward County, as well as the first church, and then his son, Dr. Mizell, who fought for civil rights and was able to found the NAACP there, led, he actually strategized and the whole process of getting a beach for blacks in Broward County, and also, which she was able to accomplish by leading wait-ins that then provided the incentive for the beach to be granted for blacks, which is now the John U. Lloyd, which was the John U. Lloyd Beach, which became the Dr. Vaughn Mizell and Eula Johnson State Park and Beach in Broward County. But even beyond that, I'm just also, just proud of relatives who wrote for the Jacksons, the songs that kicked off their careers, ABC, I Want You Back, the Jacksons, who sing and work in the music industry. So it's just really great to have a history and to know it. I tell people all the time, you have a history. Mm-hmm. You have people in your family who've accomplished great things. I just happen to know them, and you can too. If you do the research, you'll find you have many people in your family who have accomplished things that you're proud to reflect on, learn on, and grow. So.
Right. And when you come from a family like that, there's this kind of sense of obligation, right, to carry on the torch. And I say obligation in a positive way, right?
Mm-hmm,
and it's certainly not a burden. And you have done that throughout your career. So tell us a little bit more about your career and your background, and starting off with your alma mater.
Howard University.
Howard.
Yes.
Bison in the house.
Bison in the house. That was such a great experience for me coming out of Miami. I am proud to be a Miami Central Rocket, and they've won something like 9, state championships. It was a great school, still is a great school, and attended Howard University with a major in sociology and minor in radio. I encourage people always to just follow their dreams. I love people. And then I just decided to, after I decided I wasn't going to be a social worker, I love advocating for people, though. And so I kind of was able to keep that by picking up a minor in radio. And that just opened up a whole new world for me and created the ideal credentials for me to be a public affairs director in radio for 20 some odd years. And I've worked in DC radio at Howard University radio doing some things while I was a student. And then here, everything from 99 Jams, Hot 105, WQAM, KISS. I've worked, and a few others in
For
different
those who don't
roles.
know, what does a public affairs director do? So is that a behind-the-scenes role? Is that on air, a combination?
It's a combination. The duties are a combination, but you do host a talk show similar to this that we do here, in that you conduct research to find out what the issues and concerns are of the public, and then you find the people who can address those issues, and then you bring those topics to on air, usually in the form of a public affairs talk show that comes on weekly. Typically, they're on Sunday and early Saturday mornings, but they are usually a part of the programming in both radio and television stations.
The original podcasts, right?
There you go. There you go.
And so you had a career in radio, and then you moved on and started doing some new things.
Communications
Including
and
accounting.
marketing, right? That I shifted from being the person that was sought out to present things on air,
Okay.
to share, and to inform, to the person who's now, I worked with the African Heritage Cultural Arts Center, which is part of the Cultural Affairs Department here in Miami-Dade County, where the CITT is also housed. And there, that was a great experience because it coincided with Moonlight becoming the Best
That's right.
Picture, Oscar, Golden Globes Best Picture, and
Product of Miami, right?
exactly. In fact, Terrell Alvin McCraney was a product of the Cultural Arts Center. That was his artistic home, and so he came back, and there was so much, so many of the festivities, because essentially the Cultural Arts Center became like the local home of the movie, and so the celebration for the Oscar win, as well as renaming streets, the mayors, the commissioners coming out, just a huge celebration. It was a very fun time to be there.
And then eventually you found your way to us at the CITT.
Exactly, and this is just such a great department. I love that the team represents the United Nations. Everything from Cuba to Peru, Colombia, Florida, Georgia, the Bahamas. I mean, it's all right there in one department with a small team of people, cohesive, great leadership, and great mission. So I'm just really happy to be there.
Yeah, and just as a reminder for those who are tuning in, so the mission of the CITT is to oversee the half-penny sales tax that was approved by voters 20 years ago to implement a series of transportation and transit projects, what they call the People's Transportation Plan. So here we are 20 years later, $4 billion collected and spent, number of great projects and programs achieved, many more to come. We realize there are many unfulfilled promises that we're now working to fulfill. And the reason behind the ambassador program is to help us keep an eye on those investments, right, that we've made over those 20 years. And so let's get back into the ambassador program.
Sure.
So you mentioned earlier that the ambassador program is looking to recruit volunteers, each representing every station in the Metro Rail and Metro Mover system, every bus route in the Metro Bus system, and then also the municipal program, right?
Exactly.
People, I think, forget that all of the trolleys and many of the freebie on-demand programs that the cities have implemented and continue to operate are paid for in large part, if not exclusively, with the half-penny funds that the cities receive. So we're seeking volunteers throughout the system. Right? So who is it that you're looking for? What is the ideal candidate to become a CITT ambassador?
Someone who is a frequent rider, 3 or more times a week, and from one end of the age spectrum to the other. Currently, we have the program with adults, but with plans to extend to 11th and 12th graders as a program broadens. And, people from every, like I said, every age range, every the diversity, geography, where, we need all of that in order to have credible a variety of information that helps to improve the system. So anyone who rides on a regular basis and is willing to fill out the information in the surveys within a mobile app, it's comfortable. You have to use a mobile app so that we can do this on that scale. Otherwise, we would not be able to do it on that scale.
So the idea is a volunteer is writing the system on a regular basis. He signs up to be an ambassador. So what does his day-to-day or her day-to-day look like? How are they providing that feedback to the CITT specifically?
Within the mobile app, there are surveys for about conditions that allow them to respond to questions about their experience, whether or not the vehicle was clean or the station was clean, whether or not they had a positive, negative, or neutral experience when they interacted or did not interact with the operator of the train or the trolley or the bus.
On-time performance.
On
a little bit of everything,
time,
right?
a little bit of everything.
So they're on the app, they fill that out, goes to the CITT, and then what happens? Do they get something in return for?
Yes, they get points for each one, and the thing is, the more you fill out, and you do it like in what they call streaks, then you get more points. Your points increase with the number of times. But you can only fill them out like twice a day, once during basically for the morning drive and the afternoon drive times during the week.
And what do those points get redeemed for?
They can get there's passes, transit passes through Miami-Dade, Go Miami-Dade. There are Lyft and Uber discounts in there. There's also discounts for bike sharing. So there's just a variety.
So they're mobility rewards generally, right?
Currently.
So the more points you get, the more free mobility you can get through these various partners.
Exactly.
You can't turn it in for Cheesecake Factory.
Well, we say that now, but you never
Maybe
know.
one day.
Maybe one day we'll have a little bit of everything in there, entertainment or Cheesecake Factory.
And then what happens to that information? So CITT gets that information from all of these different ambassadors. What's done with it? What's the purpose?
The purpose is to improve the system. So we're sharing it with the Department of Transportation and Public Works.
And with the municipalities.
And the municipalities, so that they can see how to improve, where it makes more sense to, and we're also working in the ways that we share so that it immediately identifies and sorts this information out in a way that it makes it easier for them to make the kinds of changes. Because we really, in the end, we want to also be able to identify the things that have changed as a result of the input from these riders, so that they feel more connected with their work and can see how it's improving.
So ultimately, the whole point of the program is to improve the transit experience, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's great, and I think that's certainly a worthwhile objective. But that isn't the only way for them to achieve points. What are the other components of the program that they then could get rewarded for?
Yeah, and for those who have social media accounts, who are active on social media, they'll love this because
which at this point, should be 90% of the population, right?
It is, for sure. They can follow us, CITT, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and LinkedIn, and find the posts that have hashtags for the CITT ambassadors or CITT ambassador, and then share that on their page. Take a quick screenshot and upload it on the mobile app, which is Velocia, that we use, and then those those are also redeemed for like 50 points, and they can get up to, I believe, 100 points, 50 points each for those social media screenshots.
Right. So helping us inform the general public about what's happening, right? By reposting, retweeting our messages, and they get rewarded for that as well.
Sure. And for focus groups, which are, that's something that's coming in our future. Those, to have focus groups where not only the CIT can use them, but again, the municipalities as well as DTPW can use them to get feedback on particular activities or changes or that they're initiating.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm sold. Certainly. Would love to get all those points to get some goodies in exchange. But also, even besides the rewards, I think many transit riders want to improve the system because
They
it benefits
do.
them, right? So if people are interested in signing up to be an ambassador, how do they go about it?
Well, they can check out that QR code that's on the screen and visit, or there is a crawler with our website address if you want to key it in, or you can just take a picture, scan the QR code that's on the screen. It'll take you directly to the CITT ambassador page, and there.
And for a vision impaired, so it's www.miamidade.gov/CITT, right? That's our main page, and then you can find the link to the ambassador program there.
Exactly. And our webpage is, it's ADA compliant, so we also, that's another audience that we encourage to apply to be ambassadors. But on the page, they'll find plenty of information, more details about the program itself, and they'll find a link that takes them directly to the application. And the application is filled out online. And once they fill out that application online, it ends up in my mailbox, and then we process it and get the information over to Velocia, and then they'll get an email telling them, congratulations, you're a CITT ambassador, welcome aboard.
Start earning points.
And start earning your points and getting your rewards.
And I know the official launch hasn't taken place yet. That'll be happening in a few weeks, but really, we've started, right? So you start earning points as soon as today.
Absolutely. So we had our beta kicked off. It was like in August, late August. So we had our beta testing, and that went well. Then we moved on to reach out to widen it to county employees. So we got a little bit more feedback and allowed us to tweak the program from that feedback that we received from the ambassadors within the county, as well as the ambassadors who were previously beta testers. And so as we're moving forward, we're just tweaking and refining all the processes, and we'll have our full launch in early February, and with great support from our mayor, who's getting involved, who likes the program as well. So we're really looking forward to it, and looking forward to engaging the full county in becoming CITT ambassadors.
That's great. It sounds like a really innovative program. As far as I can tell, this hasn't been done anywhere else in the country. Have you seen anything quite like it?
No, not like this. I've seen programs in other counties, other parts of the country where they have ambassadors who serve more as navigational kinds of support for riders, but not those who are like in this kind of secret shopper mode, giving feedback, reporting on their experiences and getting rewards for doing that. So.
And I think that's an important to distinguish. So, typically when people think of an ambassador, they think they have to interact with people. And that might turn some folks off who maybe aren't comfortable interacting with other passengers, either for safety reasons or otherwise. Maybe they're just shy. There's no expectation of them interacting with other riders and passengers,
right? Or the personnel.
Right.
There's places for ambassadors to fill in operator codes and vehicle numbers so that we get accurate reporting. But they don't have to talk to the bus driver or the trolley driver. They don't have to speak to them at all in order to provide feedback about their experience. No.
Okay. Anything else about the program the public should know about? I think we covered most of it.
I think we have. Just want them to reach out if they're not riding the system currently, but if they know someone who rides and they're watching this now, to reach out to their friend and let them know about the program and how easy it is to apply.
I should note also that this is a great opportunity for people who might be interested in someday serving on the Citizens Independent Transportation
Absolutely.
Trust. There, we're going to look at this almost like the AAA, right? And go back and pull people who are ambassadors who've demonstrated an interest in transit
Sure.
and really been engaged, and we're going to pull from them as a potential source of candidates to be a member of the trust itself, right?
Exactly. The application is also available online for trust members now, and we're working to make that application as easy and online as the ambassador application. But yes, they can find all the information they need by going to miami-dade.gov/CITT.
Or is that QR code somewhere on the screen? Just,
Right.
point your phone there and take you straight there. So, okay, enough about the ambassador program. Let's go back to you because you're a fascinating person with a really interesting history. So we talked about your professional background, about your family history. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what are your passions and what do you enjoy doing? Do you have any hobbies? I know you like to travel, for instance.
Sure. Oh, yes, definitely like traveling. But I love people. I mean, I just love talking to people, meeting people, helping people. That's always been one
And
of my
a lot
passions.
of them. Anywhere we go, we get stopped, I think, half a dozen times by people you happen to run into in the street that know you. So
Absolutely.
it's really impressive.
Between my family, my mother owned a daycare center, Mizell Kitty Campus, and it was so interesting to come all the way to the CITT years later and meet a staff member who had actually attended Mizell Kitty Campus.
Oh,
So
great.
I know a lot of people from there, as well as Mizell Records. We had a very popular record store in the late 80s, early 90s. So that was a lot of fun. We got to meet DJs and go backstage with all the entertainment, promotional people from record companies, as well as to meet, pretty much every R&B, hip hop artist, including some jazz. I got a chance to meet Nancy Wilson, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, Queen Latifah, Boyz II Men.
Wow.
So and then that extended
Luke
into
Campbell, I imagine,
Oh,
right?
oh.
Miami Zone.
we definitely knew Luke. We helped put Luke on the map because we sold
wow.
a lot of his music back in the day when he got
great.
started. When all the explicit lyrics that
That
he,
controversy,
yeah,
which really helped launch him.
and
So,
that's what launched him. Yeah, for sure.
well, it's really interesting because there's two very strong strains that seem to run through your family, and that's public service and music. And I love both of those things, so maybe that's why you and I get along so well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and I think there's the creativity gene in general. I mean, and it seems that when I look back across the years, I've used my communication skills primarily in the various positions that I've been in, but I always like getting in on the ground floor, something new. Even when I worked at MCI years ago, they were like, challenging AT&T about long distance. So that was really fun to get in and be on the ground floor of how, watching how they challenged them and actually forced AT&T to decentralize. So they broke AT&T up. That was interesting to watch that process. But and then the record store and helping my mother with the daycare, and then getting to radio and going to 99 Jams when they were, that was like the early 90s as well. And they became #1 and held that record for many years. So, but I was there when it actually happened. And then coming to the Cultural Arts Center when they were like blowing up with with the movie Moonlight,
Right.
you know. So it's just been fun. And now coming to the CITT, you know, building this ambassador program. So it's just fun being on the ground floor and being able to use your creative skills and draw on all of them, whatever it might need in a given moment.
Well, I think you've lived and continue to live a very interesting life, and you seem to find yourself at the right place at the right time,
Yes.
and always doing great things,
Yeah.
and leaving the community off better than how you found it. So, thank you, #1, for being a guest. Secondly, thank you for everything you do. This
Thank
ambassador
you.
program, I think, is going to be a huge success. Going to make an enormous impact in our community. So, looking forward to seeing it roll out and to start winning all sorts of awards because I think it truly is innovative, and you're doing an amazing job with it. So, thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you. And I give thanks to God for, you know,
Yes,
just
always.
clearing that path for me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, folks, again, if you're interested in becoming a CITT ambassador, please visit the CITT's website, either by following the QR code or visiting www.miamidade.gov/CITT. We're also looking for members to join the Transportation Trust. So if you're interested in becoming a CITT member, there are several vacancies currently available. Same website, just click on member recruitment, and you can find out more information about how to become a member of the CITT there. With that, that brings us to the end of our program. Thank you once again for being our first guest in 2023. It's going to be a fantastic year. And folks, please join us again every couple of weeks, Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. on Mobility Matters. Thank you.